We're just going to run through a scenario of conflict. I'll be doing it with Dermot, my colleague. Okay, let me just set the scene slightly. Dermot is my neighbour, so you can call him an acquaintance, which is statistically higher that I'm going to have conflict with him than a stranger. He's my neighbour, he works nights, so he's quite agitated as a person. We do not have a good relationship. I've got children, and I apparently play loud noise during the day over the weekends when he thinks he should be sleeping, okay?
Turn that fucking music down. All night it's been loud. Yesterday was the kids.
Whoa,
no, I'm not having it, mate. You're taking the fucking piss
I
now.
apologise.
No, you're taking the...
That was conflict number one. Passive to start with, but as you can see, super frustrated, de-escalation came in pretty quick. What happens from this point, do you think? Did that conflict get de-escalated?
He wanted more.
Okay, so we spoke at the beginning about two different types of people that you're going to be attacked by. 95% of them is a good guy having a bad day. 5% of them are predators, sociopaths, these kinds of people. Which one is he? Maybe we don't know yet, sorry?
I was saying having a bad day.
Okay, good guy having a bad day. Any other alternations in that? No? Well, I can tell you he's my neighbour, and I'll just shatter his ego. Whoa, listen, no.
Punch me in the face, will ya?
No. Don't worry, he's okay. What happened?
Escalated.
Why?
He didn't get what he wanted.
He didn't get what he wanted. Are we starting to think maybe he's the 5%?
Yeah.
Yeah? So it's escalated to a knife. And the problem with a knife is it's really readily available, and it instantly makes him 6'5" brick shithouse. If we were in America, what do you think would happen now? Are you from America?
No, but I used to live there for a while.
Okay. If we were in America, what do you think might happen?
Gun.
Yeah, I'm just about this bitch.
I'm so sorry now. We're fucking
Kill you now.
No, you win.
Yeah.
Stop it there. Okay. Okay, I already know my neighbours and me don't have a good relationship. He comes towards me, I'm on my driveway. Pause. It takes 2 seconds for you to determine if somebody's a threat. This is based on facial expressions more than anything else. Body language then comes in. Within 2 seconds, you can determine I'm in trouble here. Now, what was the first thing I did? My hands came up. Whoa, this is what we call a reactive stance. I'm instantly starting to try and de-escalate him using communication. Instantly, I'm saying, listen, I don't want this. Had I have done this, what would that have done? It would have put us into a fight scenario immediately. And remember, I do not want to escalate it, because he'll go get the knife or the gun. He's my neighbour. I really want to de-escalate it. I don't want to hurt him, and I don't want to get hurt, okay? So my hands are up. Whoa, I'm listening to what he's got to say, really important. He comes towards me. One thing I will say, the good guy having a bad day, way easier to de-escalate. They want to be listened to. So when I say to him, whoa, I'm sorry, he clearly wasn't here for anything other than to cause violence, was he? My hands stayed up. He pushed forward, I pushed back. He pushed me. This is now common assault in accordance with UK law, Section 3 of the Criminal Law Act, okay? So technically, I could now preemptively strike, or I could now use physical force. I still didn't, but I kept my hands up. He threw a sucker punch. We're going to talk about the start of the defense mechanism later, and why having my hands up increases the chances of me being able to block this punch without even much training. You guys will be doing this later. Once I've done this, I'm then attacking his head, okay? We're also going to talk about this today. When I attack the head, which is something we call a disruptor, I'm attacking his cognition, his brain. I can use this to gain control of where he is, where his body is, and where his brain is, where his mind is. His body is not doing the punching. The problem isn't the arm, is it? It's the brain. I need to control the brain, not the body. And later, when we do the disruptor, I'll explain the science of how that happens. So I disrupted the brain. Then I took him down to the floor, which he doesn't need to do now. And then I said, get off my driveway, I'm going to phone the police. Okay, I'm now going to ring the police. I'm going to have high amounts of adrenaline. There's going to be a requirement for a desensitization stage. Potentially the retaliation could happen immediately. Potentially it could happen in a week or a month. I'm expecting my neighbour's going to come back at some point now, so now my heightened awareness is up. I'm also expecting that he's going to come back with something, okay? In the UK, potentially it could be a bat, could be a friend, or in this case, it was a knife. He comes forward with the knife. My hands are up straight away. Why?
Distance yourself.
Distance myself. I need to cover my vital areas, and we'll talk about that in a minute. I need to cover my vital areas. I'm not going to take my focus off that knife. My adrenaline's going to be absolutely skyrocketing. My heart rate's going to be skyrocketing. I'm going to have tunnel vision. I'm going to be fucking terrified, but I can still go through on the action. He comes through with the knife. I struck the arm. I said, please, I don't want it, please. I struck the arm. He upped his ferocity. I'm not going to keep doing this all day long, so I pinged. And then I went into the head, this time with a lot more force. And the second I'm no longer in danger, I will cease the defense. Make sense? Anyone think that's wrong? Good, because it's not. Right, I can defend, I'm allowed to use lethal force to defend my life. So, I've got the knife from him. I've managed to defend it. Uh-oh, what does this mean? I'm going to prison.
Yeah.
And that's the way the law works. Simple, means, opportunity, intent. And how many lawyers in here? All right, means, opportunity, and intent. The lawyer's going to try and prove the attacker that attacked you did not have the means, opportunity, and intent. And my defense lawyer is going to say he did have the means and opportunity and intent, and that's why he used the amount of force that he did. The second I'm no longer in danger, i.e. I have the knife, I can no longer use lethal force against him.
But the rule's different because you have marine training versus me that like did karate as a kid but like nothing, right? In terms of
depends how good your lawyer is.
Right.
And it really depends what you say when you first get arrested.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in conflict because I'm a nice person and I actually want a peaceful life. When he had the knife, I'm willing to go that step further now because I don't want to die because I have kids. I have a family to think about. Yeah? So now I'm very quickly, instantly going to go into attack mode and I'm going to start biting, chewing and tearing. The second the attack stops, he leaves and I'm like, now we've got a serious problem because he's clearly willing to escalate. So we're talking about escalation process. Now, this situation here, how do we deal with this in the UK? He's attacked me with a knife. He's going to go to prison now, isn't he? Law's going to get heavily involved. Hopefully, neither of us have been hurt. So you might find yourselves against these sociopaths in life. And you have to be able to forward plan, analyse what could he do next. We went to America, didn't we? And he brought the gun out. If I was walking down the street tonight and this gun came up to me and he said, give me your fucking wallet, what do you think I would do?
Give him the wallet.
100%.
Yeah.
And there's not many scenarios I wouldn't. Promise you. I've worked with guns for 15 years and they are extremely dangerous. If you do have to take that gun, all right, and we all understand that this is an absolute worst case scenario, there's a few things I want you to really think about. Number one, and this is where a lot of people get their gun defense wrong, I do not want to be still. Do you know what a startle defense mechanism is? It's your blink response. So when I'm still like this, his blink response or his startle defense mechanism is maximized. The second I do anything, it's all over. I need to dampen his startle defense mechanism. Please don't hurt me, please don't hurt me. Now the hand can be quicker than the eye. So the chances of me being able to grab the gun a second before he pulls the trigger is much higher because I'm already moving. And we can play with this drill in a minute, okay, because we're nearly on to you guys doing some stuff. So I'm moving, number one. Number two, absolute compliance. I did the same with the knife, by the way. What do you want? Please, I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry. He needs to know he's getting what he wants, okay? He needs to feel powerful. He needs to see me subdued and weak and small. And then I move my body in one way. I move the gun as I grab it in one way. And I move his hand in the other. And that's the quick break. Hold that for me there. And it's got to be quick. Now, and it needs to be quick. And another thing is, if I miss it, he's going to pull the gun back and then that's the end of it. So when I do it, I don't pull. I keep my ground or even go forward. I don't pull backwards in case I slip or miss the gun, okay? Very small chance of you being successful with that because his finger is already on the trigger, but you might need to do it in a scenario. I'll let you guys all try this later, bearing in mind you're never going to do it. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, good. That's it for, I'm not going to go into that anymore now because I want you guys to start moving. What's the time? All right, let's start doing some work. So, let's talk about the beginning of that conflict. What did I do? First thing I did. So let's talk about the reactive stance. I want everybody to line up right here.